Sup guys, over here, and today I want to cover an interesting topic, but first a little rant on how I actually got to this topic. Yesterday I stumbled upon Crypto Wendy's short video about, I think it was like predatory financial practices. I was like, okay, let's watch what it's all about. And it was about the fact that you can now, when you buy groceries in certain apps, on the internet, you can use the buy now pay later option provided by Klarna, and she was sort of pissed that it's there, like why you pushing these practices on the people. People, well, on the one side she acknowledges that people should have a responsibility, but on the other side she's saying basically people don't have enough financial education to kind of make an educated decision, which I think is laughable, honestly. And I don't have anything against Crypto Wendy or other people who have this point of view. I just think that in 2023, unless you are in some fourth world country sitting in the cage without the internet, the point that you don't have a financial education just cannot be valid, because there are tons of resources online. Like, we're not gonna say that become a professor of economics. We saying educate yourself enough where you don't do stupid stuff, basically. And if this option is there, this means people use it. People want it there and people use it. And I was actually like, I wonder how much people are using this option now for groceries, for example. Because I would think that initially this is mainly for electronics and stuff like that, that is sort of pricey. And maybe you don't have like 1,000 or 2,000 USD to pay for the phone, to pay for TV or stuff like that. So you would be using this option. But like for groceries, and I did a little search, and it turns out that Adobe Analytics 4 days ago actually published the article based on this research, and I want to go through that now. I'm going to be quoting directly from the article. This report is based on Adobe Analytics and provides the most comprehensive view into US e-commerce by analyzing commerce transactions online, covering over 1 trillion visits to US retail sites, 100 million SKUs, and 18 product categories. So it's very large data size. Home furnishings and groceries driving growth online. In 2022, consumers spent over 126 billion on home furnishings, a 10.2% increase year over year, as well as 86.8 billion on groceries, a 10.8% year over year. This strong growth contrasts with the electronics, which remain the top category by total spending, 202 billion, but only grew 4% year over year. Similarly, apparel was another major category and drove around 172 billion in 2022 spending. The number actually fell by 3.8% year over year. These trends have persisted in recent weeks. In February 2023, the home furnishings category grew almost 13% year over year, driving 9.4 billion in spending for the month. Groceries grew even more substantially at 26.7% year over year, driving 8.4 billion in spending. Demand for electronics slowed following a record holiday shopping season, falling 5.4% year over year to 13.6 billion, while apparel fell 0.6% year over year, driving 11.3 billion in February spending. Rising costs of living have pushed consumers towards buy now, pay later services that allow them to pay for purchases over time. In 2022, the share of online purchases using BNPL, that's a short for buy now, pay later, grew by 14% year over year, with the revenue from BNPL growing 27% year over year. In the first month of 2023, BNPL order share was up by 10% year over year, though revenue fell by 19%, indicating that consumers are using these payment methods for smaller purchases. In the first 2 months of 2023, groceries share of BNPL orders grew a staggering 40%, while home furnishings grew by 38%. By contrast, apparel only grew 8% and electronics fell by 14%. Then they have the data that people buying more and more on mobile instead of using the desktops, and then the interesting data about the average purchase size. Across major categories, Adobe separated goods into 4 pricing tiers and observed changes from January 2019 through February 2023. It shows that over time, the cheapest pricing tier grew its shares of sales significantly across categories including groceries, up to 35.6%, electronics, up to 57.1%, apparel, up to 36.1%, and home furnishings, up to 42.8%. It shows that in a certain economic environment, consumers are willing with either forgo name brand foods or to buy a more basic version of an electronics product such as speakers or television. And lead analyst at Adobe Digital Insight, Vivek Panda, again, sorry if I'm butchering the name, said, and I quote, "The rise of buy now, pay later usage for groceries tells us that consumers are likely making bigger purchases online to take advantage of special promotions and stock up on staples, thus managing living expenses in a more flexible way." The strong online growth of home furnishing purchases is expected to bolster buy now, pay later adoption given the higher ticket prices in this category. End of quote. So they're basically attributing that to the fact that people will be being more flexible and not for the fact that maybe people don't have enough money to pay full price for the groceries. But my subjective opinion is that it has a lot to do with that. And we have more and more piling debt. If we check the credit cards debt, the auto loans, I mean, it's a record high, not only in US, but also globally. So I think this is just, right now, we're just witnessing the small tip of this iceberg of the crisis that we're gonna witness ahead. And there's gonna be a lot of pain, I think. But right now, we're just not feeling that on a full scale. But I think starting late summer and at autumn, we're gonna see the effect. Housing market, some more things will collapse. But anyways, it's all just topics for several videos here. I just wanted to cover these interesting facts about BNPL. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you soon.